What's up, everyone? This is Sam from Shutterfuel, and this is Tyler, and this is the first episode of What the Fuck Is This? So Tyler, tell us what the fuck this is.
Well, this is the 1987 Chevy Feretta prototype car. You know, they kind of just built it to appeal to the muscle car guys back in the day because they were thinking about phasing out the F bodies. So they were going to use this to kind of replace them. So they were really just trying to appeal to the guys that wanted the the IROC Z and they like the hood louvers and the aggressive stance. So yeah.
So this is a full concept car.
Yep,
Okay.
100%. It was sold at Beretta Jackson in 2009 after GM had the bankruptcy issues and this and that. It actually was not supposed to be, registered on the road. They had removed the VIN from it, but due to a loophole in Florida State, you were able to get it registered as a kit car. So,
okay.
Yeah, it actually does have a title now. Yeah.
Nice. So it was bought from the GM Heritage Collection?
Yeah.
Back when they sold it, and then you got it from a couple owners back. You didn't buy it from the auction, right?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, there was an old man that I guess had bought it from the auction, and he had passed away, and his son had inherited the car. So he was gambling with his buddies at a poker game, and he actually ended up losing the car to his buddy. So yeah, it was pretty wild stuff, really. I mean, I don't know how you'd end up with a prototype car through a bet, but I mean, he lucked out there. So
that's a sweet. Not only is it a unique car, that's such a unique backstory. Like, it came from GM Heritage Center. It's a prototype, and it was won in a poker game, and that's how it ended up getting down to you. So that's awesome.
Right.
And then so you said it's titled as a Florida kit car, basically, right?
Yep. On the title, they actually put it as a 1987 Beretta. So legally, from that standpoint, it would be just a Chevy Beretta.
Okay.
So,
Nice.
yep.
That's kind of cool. So concept car wise, I know we went over this in like the feature video early, but like if you want to do a quick walk around, like I know you're a big Beretta fan, right? So is there anything like, I know the hood louvers, everything is stock on it as it was from GM, right?
Yep.
Okay.
It really, the kit that they had put on this resembles that of the GTZ and the Z26. I think it's called the Z51 package. So this predates that by just a couple years. That whole package came out in 1990. So this just kind of resembles it, very eerily. They put the base model lights in here still. It doesn't have the fog light turn signal combo like the Z26 or GTZ would have. They actually molded this body line up into these flares. Any old normal Beretta is not going to have this type of flaring coming out of the side of it. So, and other than that, really, the front bumper's a very similar shape. I mean, also the grill is one piece with the bumper. It's all one solid fiberglass piece.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So question, I have so many questions about it, especially because it's a concept car. It's very unique. I know it has is it a 2.5? What was it? 3.5 V8 in it?
Yeah. They when they sold it at the auction, they actually had said it was around 3.5 liters. So they never actually gave an actual displacement number on it. There was no horsepower numbers on it, no torque numbers, anything like that. So it's really just kind of a mystery engine.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah. It was made by Isuzu. It's an all aluminum dual overhead cam V8. So it's a very strange engine for sure.
So I know you mentioned earlier about you had to replace one of the resistors or something in it. What have you had any problems with it? Is there something like if you were going to have an issue with part of the engine, like whether it's like an alternator or anything, what can you do? Like as a person who's never had a concept car like that. Is like, oh my gosh, you can't go to O'Reilly's and get these parts, so what do you do?
Right. Well, for the most part, like the wheel bearings or the brakes or anything like that, that's going to be just regular old Beretta stuff. But as far as like what you're saying with the engine goes, the alternator would come from like an Isuzu Rodeo, would be the replacement for that.
Interesting.
But as far as like the timing belt goes or like doing head gaskets on it or anything like that, there is no torque specifications for the bolts. You're not going to be able to get gaskets for it. Really, if something detrimental were to happen to that engine, it would have to be taken to an engineer to be able to remake what it was, and also to find out what the torque specifications need to be for the bolts in order for it to seal properly. So, yeah, so
that's crazy.
Yeah, it'd be kind of difficult to really replace anything. And like you were saying about those modules, that was just kind of it was very similar to the setup like a 300ZX would have, and those guys would update to a newer style that came out with. Well, other cars that had that same thing, they'd kind of, you know, they had a newer generation of that ignition control module. So, you know, after checking out schematics and wiring, I was able to get that worked out. So
nice. Okay, that's awesome. Now I know you said concept car. What pieces on the car? Like I see this GM tag. Do you have like? Is there like certain things they left in the car? Do you have like notes on it or anything?
I don't really have anything. The other prototype car, there was the V6 all-wheel drive one. It had came with a whole service manual of all the service records. Like there would be notes in there of where, you know, somebody said, hey, go put the coilovers by the coffee maker in the front of the car. So it was kind of cool to see that, you know, on that car specifically that, you know, they had those little notes where you could tell, you could kind of get a general idea of the people behind the car. This may have came with something like that when it was sold at the auction, but when I'd gotten it, I don't know if it was because the guy who'd won it in the poker game didn't get that paperwork, but yeah, I mean, I really don't have a whole lot that goes along with that. I just have like a photocopy of the sticker that was on the window when it was at the Barrett-Jackson Auto Auction and things like that. So,
man, it's super cool though. Have you run into any other concept car owners, or is there a group for any of the owners, like a Facebook or anything?
No, I actually haven't really found a page like that. I mean, the guy named Jonathan Shimura, I think is how you say his last name. He's on the Beretta forums and Facebook page and everything, and he's got that black one. I mean, he's really the only one that I've talked to that actually owns another prototype car.
Okay, cool. Well, it's super cool, man. I love it. I mean, what's the general consensus like when you drive it around town or go to car shows? Are people like, do they have the what the fuck is this? You know, do you get that a lot? Or?
Well, I get a few people here and there that walk up and they when they walk past it, they just look at it as kind of like just a normal Beretta. I mean, a lot of people can't differentiate the fact that this has the bigger flares and that, but then some people it catches their eye and they walk up and start to really kind of look at it, and as soon as they catch a glimpse of that engine, you know, that's when they get the what the fuck is this thing? You know, they really want to know what it's all about. So,
oh yes.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those cars that you would have to really explain it to somebody for them to really grasp the fact that it's the only one that there is, you know. So
that's rad. So only one. Do you have? I know we talked about this briefly, but do you have any type of like collector insurance, or is there any problems that you ran into like at the DMV with it being a concept car or a kit car?
No, not really. I mean, it just as far as insurance go, you kind of just insure it as, you know, just as the Beretta that it is. I mean, at the end of the day, and then you know, being that it's a fully legal title and it's got a VIN and everything, I mean, there's really no issues as far as insuring it and getting it on the road. I personally have kept the plates off of it and everything because I don't want to put mileage on it. It's got just right around 7,400 miles, so you know, I definitely want to keep it right around that range of mileage.
Awesome. Well, is there anything else you want to add, or
I mean,
give shout outs or anything? I
mean, really shout out to all the Beretta guys. I mean, all the Beretta owners. I mean, it's really an honor to own this car and be able to let them experience that and kind of, you know, show them what they've only seen in a magazine article from 1998. They never got the opportunity to hear it. They never got the opportunity to sit in it. And when I took it down Beretta Fest last year, I was gladly able to do that for everybody. So it's definitely an honor to have this car here. So. For sure.
Well, thanks for showing it to us today
anytime,
and being on the first episode of this. So we hope to bring you guys some more, and thanks for watching the video, and check out Tyler. I'm sure he'll be online, and watch for the feature on the car coming soon to shutterfuel.com. Thanks, guys.